All right, it is about that time. Hello, everybody. We are so excited to be with you here today. Joining me today will be the great Dylan Handy, and he will be joining us very, very shortly. But guys, I am just so excited to be bringing to you just a great part of our educational series here with Elevate. Whether you are a brand new agent, a seasoned agent, one of our current clients, whomever you are, guys, we are just so excited to have you here to really just educate you, motivate you, and empower you to really make 2021 your best year yet and get those listings. Right? It's the name of the class, and it's also the name of the game right here now in this current market, guys. And we are just going to bring you just a lot of great strategies and some tools if we do our job correctly. Equip you with some tools in your back pocket so you can make a difference in your business today. So we're going to go over all kinds of things, from nailing that listing appointment to having a strong online presence. And really the feedback that we have been getting from agents all over the country is that this is really just making a difference and setting them up for success. So here he is. There's Mr. Handy. I see him now. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
Dylan, I'll tell you what, since you've been in Florida, you've had this little glow, this nice little tan going.
I'm a Florida resident. I enjoy it now. I can't complain.
Right. So guys, Dylan, I was just welcoming everybody and just excited for this new part of our educational series here. And we are just excited to bring all of this to you guys. So I probably should have said this right away, but my name is Stephanie Alfonso, and I am one of the education directors or part of the education team here with Elevate. That's me in the flesh. I know the picture's better than real life, guys. Come on, cut me a break, right? But yes, I work with agents and brokerages all over the country, guys, and just excited to be able to be with you. Typically, Dylan and I'll introduce wonderful Dylan here in a second officially, we travel all over the country to MLS offices, brokerage offices, training agents on the do's and don'ts, tips and tricks, best practices and strategies of online marketing, social media marketing, lead generation of all kinds. I can't wait till we're with all of you in person again. But until then, we are going to rock with these webinars and have a great time doing it. Here is my information, guys. Let's connect. If there's anything that I can ever help you with, here's my information. You can take a little screenshot. Dylan, let you take it away and talk about yourself. Introduce yourself to our lovely crowd, a little bit about our company, and then I'll go over a few housekeeping items for today.
Yeah, so excited to be here. My name's Dylan Handy. I'm originally from the Boston area, but like Stephanie mentioned, I recently just moved down to Florida. So very excited to be here with you guys. I, like Stephanie, used to travel the country going to different MLSs and coaching you guys on do's and don'ts of social media online etiquette. And I've been involved in the real estate industry my entire life. Past 8 years, I've been involved in the marketing aspect. But as a kid, I remember growing up, and my family has been in real estate. My father's been involved in the real estate industry from as long as I can remember. So very passionate about it, and really excited to be here with you guys today.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit about us, Dylan. A lot of people might be like, well, gosh, I've heard of Elevate and I've heard of Elm Street Technology, and give us a little bit of background as to who we represent and who I proudly represent on my shirt here today.
I love it. Yeah. So it's so exciting about our company. Our company, I'm sure many of you here are familiar with us. In fact, go into type in the chat box. We're going to talk about utilizing this chat box. But if you are a current customer, just go ahead and type in yes. We just want to have an idea of how many of our current customers are in here. Yeah, look at this. We've got so many here. Absolutely.
Welcome, guys.
So we love it. Look,
the crew's
look,
all
it's
here.
blowing up.
The crew's all here.
Yeah, the Elevate Elm Street families all year. But for those of you who are not familiar with Elm Street technology, what I wanted to give you a little background. So exciting about us is we are a company that goes around and acquires different companies that do one aspect of the marketing industry or one aspect of real estate marketing, and we merge them to make one mega product. Stephanie, we find agents all the time have all these different vendors with all these different programs, all these different passwords, and they don't talk well together. So what Elm Street's goal or vision is to make one mega product where everything works and integrates under one system. And that system is called Elevate. So you're going to hear a lot about Elevate on in the news, social media. A lot of you here are very familiar with our programs and services, but we encourage all of you to go connect with us on our social media. We're really big on education and training and classes. So we've got a great one here today for listings because we know the market is just so crazy. The golden ticket right now is listings. So we're going to talk about how to get you some seller leads today in this class, but we have other classes and trainings. So go connect with us at Try Elevate. We'll keep that motivation and inspiration going.
Yes, guys. So just a couple of housekeeping items just so we can keep on task today. Because man, if we don't, I'll talk all day long. But basically, guys, we want to really stay as involved as possible with you. The best way to do that is to really utilize that chat box. We actually have panelists here with our company and with our team here to answer your questions at any point. So at any point during this webinar, if you have a thought, a question, a comment, a concern, anything at all, put it in the chat box. Our panelists are there to answer your questions live time. Dylan and I are going to check that question and answer section or that chat box periodically throughout the class here today and be able to answer some questions out loud. But because there's just so many of you on here today, we couldn't possibly put everybody's cameras on and have everybody chime in. We definitely want to be timely with you guys and your time here today. So use that chat box. Let's stay as interactive as possible. And then also, guys, for a lot of you who are wanting to know more about the Elevate products and services, obviously we said, hey, do we have any current clients here? We do have solutions that will help you guys with everything that we talk about here today, that we educate you on, that can take care of a lot of these aspects for you. For those of you who are really looking at investing in seller leads and aspects of that, definitely hang on till the end of the webinar. We're going to present to you guys a lot of different opportunities you could take advantage of, discounts and savings that you can take advantage of. So definitely hang tight. We're going to make this as entertaining as possible and definitely provide you guys with a lot of tools and resources. So today's agenda, the main goal of today is we want to find sellers, right? And we're going to talk today about doing that both through organic traffic as well as paid traffic. Organic leads, to really kind of put into perspective what that is what kind of leads are you getting that you are not actually investing money into? And organic leads are going to come through sources like your social media and through SEO or search engine optimization, how you're found in Google and the search engines, right? Those two very important, work hand in hand together. We're also going to talk about paid leads. What are you actually investing money into to capture sellers in this market, whether it is through your social media, through ads, whether it's through PPC ads, different sources, kind of the pros and cons, and where is the best place for you to be actually investing in for leads right now. And then, of course, the best part of it all is how you're going to win that listing, right? What to bring to that listing presentation so that you are the first agent that they not see, meet, and connect with, but the one they trust and hire to list their property. All right. So, but with everything we talk about here today, guys, your lead generation of all types, whether it's paid or organic, it starts with a strong online presence, right? A lot of our current clients, you guys are well aware of that. And then your online presence, really, these are kind of the core services or the core components that will create that. Your IDX websites, having a strong CRM and email marketing for nurturing and managing those leads, making sure you're consistent with blogging and content on your social media, having high SEO, social media posts, video tours, all those components make up for that strong online presence, which truly, I always say, you got to clean your house before company comes over, right? So before you invite those people to your house, make sure it looks good. So Dylan, talk to us about seller leads and talk to us about a few statistics.
Yeah, got some pretty exciting statistics to share with you. Look, 93% of buyers and sellers hire the first agent they meet with, while only 86% of them interview two agents. So what's that mean? Look, if you're not, the first or second agent, you're missing a big opportunity here. It's so important. You're the first agent I meet or find when I start that buying or selling journey. But in regards to some seller statistics that we found really fascinating is, look, sellers are self-assured. Unlike buyers, sometimes they can start their buying search years before they actually really commit to moving. A lot of times we call it the looky-loos online, right? They're just looking at what they could maybe one day buy. Sellers are self-assured. 94% of sellers feel confident about selling a home when they start their research. In fact, 58% of the sellers who sold before spent less than 3 hours researching on how to sell their home. What's that mean? You got a short window. It's that important that you really kind of invest in being that first agent that's found. And again, since they're self-assured, it tends to be a higher value, right? I've already made that decision in my mind. I'm ready to sell my home. Now I'm doing my research. So be the first agent they find and or think of when starting their own selling journey. And we're going to talk about, like Stephanie said, utilizing organic and paid traffic to really make that happen. So first, let's start with the first aspect, which is your website. Look, your website is the front door to your business. It's your online fingerprint. It's where new clients can discover you. Past clients can send their friends and family to learn about you, and it can be a client resource. But a lot of times agents think of websites solely for buyers, and they're not just for buyers. They are a great resource for targeting sellers as well. And we'll go a little bit deeper here in a second what that actually means. But any kind of online lead generation comes from a dynamic website, which we'll go into a little bit more detail. But look, maintaining an active presence that has effective lead capture, follow-up email drip campaigns, really important free market analysis, home valuation opportunities. We're going to talk about that here in a second, and a powerful CRM system to help manage and maintain those clients.
Yeah, so important, guys. And guys, just remember, like Dylan said, again, your website is the front door to your business, and it is the centerpiece to all online lead generation. Definitely not just for buyers, So I want you to kind of think about, a lot of times what agents will tell me is that they're getting little to no activity to their website, let alone any traffic. So there's some things that we need to look at. First and foremost, guys, make sure that your website is a website that you can actually invite people to search freely and privately and only ever find you. Now, I know in regards to sellers, this is not the case, but when it comes to your website, make sure it is the kind of website that there is not going to be lead capture that pops up right when I go to your site. People want to be able to explore and do whatever they want on their site, just like they would a portal before they actually have to sign in. But make sure that people can, again, use your website freely and privately. And then there's also, guys, the aspect of portability with your website. A lot of times agents have a website, but oftentimes it is a broker provided site. And again, whereas most brokerages do provide a website, we do not recommend that you rely solely on that website. You want to make sure you have a separate website, your own website that goes where you go. Think about it. If you guys were to ever leave your brokerage, not saying that you're going to, but if you did, you'd lose your site. You'd lose all your SEO, you'd lose all your content, you'd lose all your branding, and you'd have to start all over again. So make sure that you have a powerful website that's going to go where you go, grow as you grow, and of course, have something that is going to be separate from what your broker provides so that you can stand out. Broker provided sites, although they might look different on the front with the prettier headshot and bio, on the back end, it's exactly the same as everybody else. So make sure you are the CEO of your business, have your own independent website. Okay. And then of course, what's so important about your website, guys, is that you make sure that you have something that is going to bring traffic to your site. A lot of times, like I said, agents are saying they're getting little to no traffic because it's really a static website. The only thing changing on it are listings. Listings comes from the IDX, MLS, it's a database. Google avoids databases, so it's avoiding your website. So what we want to do is attach it to something that's always changing on the internet, what gets the most traffic and activity on the internet, which is social media and blogs, right? Integration, having a blog integrated with your website is a game changer and is going to build SEO to your website. So Dylan, talk about that and talk about what that will do to your overall online presence.
Yeah, and especially, when we talk about building SEO or search engine value, search engine optimization, it's a fancy way of saying, how do I increase my value to search engines like Google? And the best source to do that is through blogging and content and video creation embedded inside your website. So you want to be consistent with your content creation. We encourage you to post about 2 to 3 posts per week, 2 to 3 blog posts or articles per week within your website. Now, since we're focused here today on sellers, it's a seller's market. Everybody wants that golden ticket. Let's focus on some content that gears towards sellers. You should be blogging real estate articles geared towards sellers. Things to consider before selling your home. Should you sell your home right now? What are the key factors to consider? When selling my home, how do I target millennials? So again, creating content that's really specific and targeted to that seller. What might be sellers researching? We talked about they invest about 3 hours into their search. What would they be typing into that search campaign? Log that information. But how about even lifestyle content? You don't have to just focus on real estate. You want to make sure you filter in some value-based information out there as well. But if we're targeting sellers, let's target some home ownership projects, right? How to invest to improve my home, how to update my kitchen updates, awesome benefits of taking home improvement projects on. So we're targeting home owners, right? To help them add value to their home and add some lifestyle content. We're going to talk about here in a second, even listing updates and transactions. That's such a powerful way to not only market your current listings, but get you more listing opportunities down the road. And then finally, we'll talk about some market update reports here, pretty detailed. So let's go ahead and start with the next slide, Steph. I want to talk about the listing activities. Look, most agents tell me, well, I'm putting all my listing activities into MLS, which you should be doing. But when you put it into MLS, it goes into a database. And then that database takes your listing and puts it across 1 million websites at one time. So it actually does nothing for your individual search engine value, your SEO value. So instead, I encourage you to take your listing activities, put it in MLS, but also blog your transactional activities. Think about that. Now Google will look at key terms like new listing, open house, sold, 123 Main Street, street address, condo, back on market, change in price. All these keywords that are so specific to you and your industry are going to help add those real estate rich keywords, build your SEO and branding online. Now, how it relates to sellers. Let me break that down for you in a couple of ways. First of all, when we're talking about sellers, I will tell you recently, I was talking to Stephanie about this in January, I put my home on the market in Boston. Like I told you, I just moved down to Miami. And I saw how hot the market was. I think I had 5 offers over asking price, some with no home inspections. I saw it. But anyways, the reason I bring this up is before I put my house on the market, I know there was a couple houses in my neighborhood that sold. You know what I did? I did some research. I went around and looked around at all these houses in my neighborhood that recently sold because I wanted to know what they sold for, right? I Googled those street addresses. Sellers do the same thing all the time. We're Googling street addresses all the time. Have an opportunity where your blog about that property that you helped sell in that neighborhood can be found. It's such a great opportunity there for you. Another thing I also like to say, not only is it going to add more real estate keywords, build your SEO, how you market your properties brands you as an agent. So if I see this level of intensity in marketing for your listings, I'm going to have more you'll have more credibility with me, right? There's a lot more trust in me having you market, your listing. So how you market your properties brands you as an agent can help you get found and build those real estate rich keywords. And this is both from buyer and seller. Okay, but let's go ahead to the next slide because you might be asking, well, what if I have no listings? The whole point is I want to get listings, right? So there are options you can do in regards to targeting sellers if you have no listings. And one of the best sources is market update reports. Okay, so this type of data you can pull directly from the MLS. median home price, home sold, days on market, but blog this update, blog this information. It's so valuable. I think the number one question, Stephanie, agents get is, what's the market look like, right? Buyer's market, seller's market, what's my neighborhood look like? Tell your clients that your website has blogging, that has all this great information. But so important, on that blog, you need some form of seller lead capture opportunities. So if I read this market update report and I think to myself, wait a minute, what's the market look like? Okay, now I'm wondering, hey, I wonder what my home would go for in this market. I'm curious. You should have a call to action button. Check home valuation. What's my home worth? Which has a lead capture landing page to capture that lead into your CRM system. Okay, now we're going to show you how Elevate does that here at the end of this seminar. But for you, you want to make sure that you have that ability. Now, Steph, why don't you talk to them? We also, with all that great content, we don't want to keep it just residing on their blog. We want to make sure that we're sharing it to all their social media.
That's right, guys. You want to make sure. Yeah, absolutely. Can you hear me okay? Dylan, you were breaking up on me a little bit, but do you hear me okay?
Yep, we hear you. You're good to go.
We're good? Okay, so like Dylan said, you don't want to leave all of this great content just sitting on your blog. You want to share it everywhere. So you want to, here's the front door to your business, right? Your website. Inside of that website is that blog with all of that content that's changing and getting high SEO to your site. Then you want to share it everywhere. Share it to your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Twitter, your YouTube if it's a video, your Instagram, but you want it all pointing back to where? Your website. You got it. Everything you want pointing back to your website, guys. By doing so, you're creating higher SEO, right? Google is going to value a piece of content shared to multiple platforms, right? You're developing that brand recognition across a broad audience, right? We have to remember there's a different audience on every single one of these social media platforms. And of course, again, that brand recognition, that top of mind marketing, guys, and of course that Google value. So don't leave it just sitting on your blog, share it everywhere. Now we're talking really heavily, guys, about social media, and we keep talking about multiple platforms, and it truly is so important that you are active and consistent on every single social media platform. A couple of benefits to that exposure on social media. The average time spent on social daily is between 45 and 120 minutes every single day, right?
That's low for me.
I was going to say, right? I'm not quite the millennial. I know that some of you might be surprised by that. There's a filter on my on my Zoom. But anyway, over 70% of Facebook users, guys, log in 6 to 10 times a day, with the average time spent between 13 and 20 minutes each visit. And guys, those stats came out even before COVID. Since COVID, Facebook reported record numbers of usage, right? Everyone's on Facebook. Everyone's online. Everyone's on social media. YouTube, over 1 billion users and over 300 hours of video is uploaded every minute. Huge. And LinkedIn, over 500 million active users. This is your business network. Super, super powerful. Twitter, over 300 million active users. And over 1 billion people are using Instagram every single month. So guys, this is where your audience is. Social media is the quickest and easiest way to reach hundreds to potentially thousands of people with the click of a button. Facebook, first and foremost, guys, this is still the #1 platform on the internet today. Like I mentioned to you, people are on Facebook every day, all day, with the average time between 13 and 20 minutes each visit. So you've got to be there. And it is so important in real estate to make sure you are utilizing that Facebook business page, okay? Your Facebook business page. If you are doing business originating on a personal page, you can get thrown into what's called Facebook jail. I know it sounds silly, but it's a real place. You'll be suspended. You don't want to have to deal with that. So make sure all content originates on that business page. Now, the key to success with all of this, with blogging, it's this, and with social media, this is no exception, is consistency. We recommend posting to your Facebook at a minimum of 2 to 3 times per week, but you want to be consistent with valuable information, right? Valuable information, guys. Dylan and I go on agents' Facebook pages all the time, every day, and we typically see the same type of information: new listing, open house, buy with me, sell with me. And all of that kind of information is great, and you should be posting it to your social media. But you also want to make sure that you're posting that lifestyle content as well. Have a nice mix of that lifestyle, those articles on DIY projects, home ownership news, all that relevant lifestyle content that would attract those sellers and engage those sellers on your social media. Super important. And guys, make sure it's self-branded. Self-branded, meaning it comes from your domain, from your site, right? A lot of times agents, will say, oh yeah, I'm not posting all the time. I even pay a company to post for me. And when we check their Facebook, sure enough, they're posting all these great articles, but they're from In the News, Huffington Post, Realtor.com, Zillow. Guys, if I were to click on those articles, it's going to take me to them, not to you, right? It's going to take me to Zillow. It's the last place you want to send your audience, right? Guys, you're driving traffic away from your domain. You're driving traffic to someone else's domain, building their SEO where there might be lead capture, doing little to nothing for yourself. So make sure all content, whether it's blogging articles or your business updates, everything originates from your blog, your domain. So if you want to use an article from another source, you can do so. Don't ever put it directly on your Facebook page. Put it on your blog. Have everything originate from that blog. So I click on it. I go back to your domain where there's lead capture, and I'm driving traffic to your site, building your SEO, right? So first and foremost, guys, make sure on our Facebook, we're posting all of those blog updates, lifestyle content, real estate information, valuable content to engage your sellers, and of course, those market updates, right? All those market updates are so super important, guys. Again, so that I can keep track of what's going on in my area. And then of course, like Dylan said, make sure there's that call to action. So when I want to check and find out what my home is worth, I'll be connected directly with you. So super important. And then of course, guys, one of the most important things about posting consistently to your social media certainly is that top of mind marketing, right? Being that first person that people think of when they're ready to buy or sell, right? Marketers say you need to be in front of somebody 25 times before they'll do business with you. You go broke doing that with mailings and other type of farming, right? But where are people 6 to 10 times a day, 13 to 20 minutes each visit? They're here on Facebook. Like Dylan mentioned, the window is small from the time people think of selling their home till actually listing it. That window is very, very small compared to buyers. So you've got to be top of mind, be in front of people so that when they're ready to sell their home, you're the person that you're the agent that comes to top of mind, okay? So powerful and important. But so top of mind marketing, that brand building and awareness. And then of course, we want to get leads. We want to get leads. So we want to talk about the best way to really, really get leads from your social media is the way that you are posting your listings. Like Dylan said, it brands you as that agent, but there is a right and a wrong way to do that. So Dylan, talk to us about what is the right way we really should be sharing our listing and our listing updates on social media.
Yeah, with your listing activities, most agents just take a bunch of photos and slap it up on their Facebook and write a short description and a prayer and hope that maybe you'll call them, right? But the reality is you've got to have some type of lead capture there. You've got to have full listing sheet. You've got to have ability for me to search more properties. So how we encourage you to post listings are links, okay? Links to your website, blog, or landing page. We just described blogging your listing activities. You should be doing that and then share that link over to your Facebook. So what's called an optimized Facebook post. You want to make sure you're posting all your listings as links back to your website where there's lead capture. So important. But Steph, I don't want to be too focused just on Facebook. We're going to go a little bit detailed here in regards to Facebook ads in a moment. But before we go into that, let's talk a little bit more about the organic aspect of lead generation targeting sellers in these great platforms like LinkedIn and Twitter.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Again, you want to utilize your social media as a way to get in front of the largest audience possible, and then use them to drive traffic back to your website where there's lead capture, right? So another large audience, your LinkedIn, that is your business network. It is a huge agent-to-agent referral platform. And guys, you want to be just as active on LinkedIn as you would your Facebook business page, posting those market updates, posting that lifestyle, interesting articles to engage your audience, posting obviously your listing and your listing updates, new listings, sold listings, open houses, Again, build top of mind with business professionals, both in and outside of your industry. So yes, I want you to connect with other agents on your LinkedIn. Super, super valuable, guys, to connect with other agents. It is a huge, huge opportunity for referral business. So definitely be just as active 2 to 3 times per week on LinkedIn. And then Twitter. Guys, Twitter, listen, I know a lot of you are, oh, Twitter, I'm not on Twitter, this and that. It's for celebrities and this and that. Absolutely not the case, guys. In your business, you absolutely want to be on Twitter, especially to be in front of those millennials, right? It is the #1 millennial platform along with Instagram on the internet. And guys, according to NAR last year, over 50% of all transactions involved a millennial. So do you want to be in front of them? Absolutely. So same rule applies, guys. Everything you're putting on your Facebook and your LinkedIn, you should be putting on your Twitter. Again, self-branded, those optimized posts so that when I want to look at this property you just posted and you just listed, it's going to drive me right back to your website where there's lead capture. So again, social media, get in front of the largest audience possible and drive them back to your website. All right, Dylan, as the resident millennial, let's talk to us about Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. So Instagram, an incredibly powerful platform. It is a photo-based platform, photo and video-based platform. So this is not necessarily a way where you're going to be posting your blog posts. There are some ways we can do that. We'll talk about if you have your link in your bio page. But we talk about Instagram. It's a photo and video-based platform that I encourage you first to set up a business account. The reason I suggest a business account, there's a lot more tracking capabilities. You are able to have links in your bio. And when you do like stories and things, which I'll talk about, you can have a little bit more lead capture and tracking. So you set up a business Instagram account. What types of things do you want to post? Well, since it's a photo-based platform, I encourage you to post, how about new listing posts? Remember, how you market your properties can get you more listing activities. You can do listing virtual tours. You know, I have some agents who do short little snippet videos or slideshow videos and upload that to their Instagram. Or even how about market report videos or images? You know, talk about how homes are selling for a certain amount over asking price or are up 20% right now in your neighborhood, and have an image of that. You know, or just have a short video of you talking about what the market looks like. You know, market reports, talk about why right now it's a time to sell your home. Start to implant that idea into your followers' minds of, hey, you know what, this is a seller's market. You know, really start thinking, maybe what would your home go for? And don't ask, you know, one of my favorite aspects about Instagram is what's called Instagram stories. And Instagram stories are great for engagement and activity. So Instagram stories are either photos or videos, and it's on your story, which lasts for 24 hours. And what I really see a lot of great feedback for agents who are targeting sellers is to literally go on a story and talk about the market, how hot the market is, some stats about what things are going on. And at the end, you can actually have a poll question and say, how many of you would like to know what your home would go for in this market? Yes or no? And you can have all of these followers self-identify. Hey, I'm actually curious. I'm in that process of thinking what my home would go for. Click yes. You'd be able to message them privately and set up an appointment to discuss a home valuation for them or drive them back to a site. So don't be afraid to ask for this type of stuff. Like I said, these Instagram stories are so powerful. Utilize it. Utilize it. It's a great way to get engagement, poll questions, and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then YouTube, guys, this is so important that you have your own YouTube channel for your business, right? So you want to make sure, guys, especially with YouTube being so powerful, it is owned by Google. I don't know if you guys are aware of that, but if Google owns it, do you think Google is going to want to send users to its own platform? Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's probably one of the most underutilized platforms by real estate agents. And we've got to change that. And you want to use your YouTube channel as kind of the hub of where all of your videos are housed, right? It is a video-based platform. It is a video library for your business, has extremely high SEO. Again, Google owns it. First and foremost, guys, if you did absolutely no video whatsoever, you always must make sure that you are doing a virtual tour for every property that you list. Now, listen, it does not have to be super fancy with drones and all of this, guys. Simply stitching photos together, laying it over some music is totally sufficient, because the goal here is for that searchability. As I'm driving by 123 Main Street, I want to be driven directly to that YouTube video, right? And then linked back over to your website. The way to do that is making sure you've got that street address in the title. That's what's gold as far as searchability within Google and the search engines. And then, of course, in those comments, have a link back over to your website. So number one thing, always have a listing virtual tour. But other videos, again, everything is all about video nowadays. We all know that. So any market report videos, talk about your area, talk about what's going on in the industry and in certain neighborhoods. Or, I know in my neighborhood, there's an agent that I work with, and she was just out walking around. It was so beautiful out, and just talking about how, how hot the market is in our neighborhood. It's the #1 school district in the area. And just kind of talking about what that looks like if you're wanting to get, to list, and what the average time on market was, blah, blah, blah. Personal time video was great. And then, of course, client testimonials, so huge, guys. It's the best way to get referral business, whether it's a current client that's so excited and they just list their home and it sold in 2 days, or at the closing table. But always make sure that if you have the opportunity to get a happy client on video, definitely put it on your YouTube channel. And then, just like blogging, you don't want to leave all that information just sitting on your YouTube. Share it everywhere. From your YouTube, share it to your Facebook, your LinkedIn, share it everywhere to get maximum exposure, build that SEO and that top of mind across multiple platforms. So really powerful stuff, guys. All right, so Dylan, you're frozen again. Do you guys hear me okay? Everything's all right? It might be Dylan that's frozen. So now we've been talking a lot about organic traffic, right? All of what we're doing on social media, building your brand. Now let's kind of switch gears for a second, and let's talk about paid traffic. Where are the best ways and the fastest source for capturing high values of potential home sellers? Oh, there you go, Dylan. All right, Dylan, talk to us about the two major paid sources of traffic to attract sellers.
Yeah, before I do that, though, I just want to mention one thing, because we're getting a lot of questions here on how to, and social media, how to do this or that. This is not our social media training class. We're going to give you guys tips and strategies on how to utilize and target sellers. If you do want to learn a little bit more about social media marketing, definitely go to some of our social media trainings. But here's my thing. Look, if you guys are a current customer, you don't have to worry about this. We're going to talk about here today how Elevate does all this for you. We'll show you guys that here in a second. But for those of you who are not customers and you're feeling still a little overwhelmed and you would like a little bit more kind of one-on-ones, go ahead and type in schedule me. And if you type in schedule me, we'll get you scheduled to meet with one of our coaches to give you a little bit more in-depth training. I just see a lot of you are focused on how to, and we want to make sure that you're feeling motivated here today. But for those who are current clients, we're doing this for you. We'll go over that here in a second. But for those of you who might need a little bit more help, who are not clients, type in schedule me and we'll get a one-on-one scheduled with you. Okay. But let's go into the paid traffic now. And there's two sources, Stephanie, right? There is search-based marketing, and then there's interruption-based marketing. All right. Now, search-based marketing is a search engine marketing like Google Ads. Now, this is a much higher intent user, right? So this is when a consumer goes to Google and types in, what is my home worth? What can I sell my home for? They're actually asking Google for that information. All right. Now, remember, when a seller does their research, they are already self-assured. Right? They're already 96% of them have already made that decision. They're going to sell their home. Whereas interruption-based marketing is social media ads like Facebook, where I'm going through my newsfeed, I'm looking at what my friends and family did, and up pops an ad. And I, of course, wonder what my home's worth. I click it, but I didn't ask for that information. It interrupted what I was doing. So here's the thing. Interruption-based marketing, you can actually get a high quantity. The challenge is it actually can be a very low conversion. It might be high quantity, low cost, but a much lower conversion. Whereas search-based marketing, PPC ads, is a much higher conversion, Lower quantity, higher cost, but a much higher conversion. Now you're probably thinking, obviously I want the conversion, and that is true. That's why we encourage agents, you should be doing about 80 to 90% of your online marketing budget to PPC ads or search-based marketing. Now, if you have a little left over, we encourage about 10 to 20% into interruption-based marketing. All right. The issue is most agents invest in interruption-based marketing. Therefore, it's a lower cost and they get low conversions. They get too many leads and they get frustrated. So our biggest focus we encourage you guys to focus on is those PPC search-based marketing and a little bit of interruption. So let's go ahead, Steph, why don't you break down for them what that search-based marketing really entails? So the next slide here for PPC. Want to talk about PPC, Steph?
Sorry, Dylan, it keeps breaking up on me, and I don't know if it's on my end. Do you guys hear me okay? Because I don't hear you.
Yes, we can hear you, Stephanie.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure because I don't hear Dylan. It keeps going in and out, but I think it's on my end. So so like Dylan said, there's kind of those two sources, and with pay-per-click, that direct search marketing, basically what's happening here is keywords are being purchased. As people are looking, tips for selling my home in South Tampa, Florida, or, what is my home worth in South Tampa, or whatever it might be, those keywords are being captured, right? So these are intent-based sellers, people who are looking to sell their home. And then what's happened is you're capturing them, creating ad campaigns on behalf of the agent, right? So as people click on those, it puts them through a series of squeeze pages to get as much information as possible based off of these keywords. There's some here on your screen. Like I said, there's probably, hundreds and hundreds of different combination of short and long tail keywords, again, indicative of a person showing interest in selling their home. Then they click on that ad. And then this is how you actually capture their information, that series of squeeze pages. You want to find out, number one, what that street address is, right? Capturing, their name, their email, and then of course that additional or that supplemental lead data would be amazing as well. What's their time frame, so on and so forth. I always tease agents and I say, can you imagine, let's say you and I were in a room of 100 people. And I went up to you and I said, hey, hey, Mark, here's a list of 20 people in this room, their street addresses. They're looking to sell their home in the next 6 months. What would you say, right? Every agent would be like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yes, let me work my magic. That in essence is what you're doing when you're actually really, really drilling down on that search-based marketing and investing in PPC leads. And then of course, with seller leads, the way that we're able to kind of capture this information and prompt them to speak to a professional is by putting them through kind of a soft home valuation process. Now, we all know as agents, one of the worst things that we can do is go to that listing appointment and the seller think, oh, my home's worth $550,000. And you're like, well, no, it's really worth $400,000, right? So we want to really put them kind of within that soft home valuation process. And then when they want to really find out more in depth, they're able to be prompted to speak to a professional. So again, this is not cold calling people and to see if they're looking to sell their home. You're actually capturing people who are seeking that information and providing you with that data. And then of course, the process after the lead is captured, this is where those good agents separate from those great agents, right? You want to, number one, capture them into a CRM system, get those leads all funneled in. And then of course, a notification should be immediately sent to the agent, following that lead. And then you want to put them into that follow-up system that whether you want to hit them with an email campaign that's been specially drafted for people that are looking to sell their home. And then there's also, other things as well that you can actually, whether it's sending out postcards or gifts. I hear a lot of agents that will get those street addresses in and send a pot holder or a wine glass or something branded to them. So there's a lot of different things that you can do there. And we'll talk more about that here in a little bit. But Dylan, share with us kind of the difference, kind of switching gears to that interruption-based or Facebook ad marketing, and kind of share with us the differences between the two.
Yeah, you're right. So we talked about the high intent lead, which would be those search-based leads. Let's transition now over to the interruption-based lead, which is like Facebook advertising. Now, there's two forms you can do. There's Facebook ads and boosting. Both have some powerful opportunities when it comes to lead generation and targeting sellers. So I'll start with a boost. It's the easiest and simplest form. You can see here this client did a blog post about, should I get a home inspection before I sell my home? And then she can hit this boost button and target an audience. And we'll go through one in a second. But, that's great information that's targeting sellers. In fact, you could even work with your home inspector and say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Home Inspector, will you help pay for some of this boosting costs? And I'll go ahead and add your information to the boost. So you're going to help cut your costs, but also together help target sellers, right? So boost, really incredible. Ads, a little bit more advanced, but a lot of great opportunities as far as, objectives and styles and lead capture forms. A little bit more detailed, but really, really effective as well. So let's start with the boost. It's the easiest and simplest form to do. Let's start with the boost page. When you do that post to your page, you hit the blue button that says boost. First, Facebook wants to know what your objective is. Well, remember, Stephanie already talked about you always want to drive traffic back to what? That central place, your website. So the objective should always be website visits or website clicks. Then you want a call to action button. Almost always it should be learn more. It's kind of the most general, non-invasive. Then you want to select your audience. And here's where Facebook can get pretty excited. You can select audiences based off of areas, demographics, interest, behaviors. Now, if it is housing, there are some fair housing laws you have to follow. Okay, so if it is, a property or a home or things like that, you are going to be restricted. You can't target based off of age or sex or anything like that. But there are some targeting options that I'll go over that you can do still. If it is not housing, but it is like a blog post, you can, boost it to just about anything. Okay, so then you select your total budget. You tell Facebook what you'll spend. $20, $50, $100. You tell Facebook. Okay, and then you select your duration. Facebook, how long you want this boost to be in people's news feeds. 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. And that depends on the content, right? So if I'm boosting a new listing, that might be for a couple of days, whereas a informational blog post might be boosted for months, okay? And that depends on the content. Now, Facebook will tell you based off of your audience selection, based off of your budget, based off of your duration, you're going to reach between 1,500 and 3,500 people per day. That matches your goal. You input your credit card and you hit boost. When you hit boost, that post will now be in people's newsfeed that matches that search criteria. Okay, so let me show you a couple examples. Steph, let's go to that next slide. A lot of my clients do this. This agent does it really effectively. You can see here, she went ahead and she blogged about the property that she just sold. Okay, like we told you, you should be doing. Remember, builds your SEO, builds your branding, has lead capture. Then she takes that post and posts it to her Facebook business page. And she writes something like, hey, everybody, just sold this property for 50 over asking price. The market's really hot in California. If you're curious to know what your home goes for, click here. But then when she hits the boost button, right in the audience selection, she actually puts the exact physical address of that home. She drops a pin on it. She does a certain mile radius, let's say 15 miles around that home. Essentially, Stephanie, she's targeting that entire neighborhood, branding herself as that neighborhood agent, getting neighbors talking with her name attached to it. And she does it for a fraction of the cost of some other forms of farming. For example, Stephanie, we were just talking about all this money that agents spend on mailings, right? And I get them all the time. You get them. Where do they go? Right? Yeah, right in the recycle bin, right? So what we want to do is compare it for a second to a boost. A fraction of the cost it will be in my news feed for weeks and months. Talk about top of mind marketing for a fraction of the cost, develops that top of mind, builds your SEO, drives traffic, and even more effective lead capture. Now, that's not to say mailings are not effective, because they certainly can be effective. But when we think about our marketing budget, we want to allocate different opportunities, right? So this, along with mailings, can be really effective, right? So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the ads. Now, the ads are, like I said, a little bit more advanced. Ads are created in the Ads Manager. And you can do ads similar, just sold this property in your area. You can do home evaluations, seller blog content with lead capture, market update reports. But one of my favorites for ads is video marketing ads. These increase the best engagement and activity. Now, for the ads, one of my favorite things to do when you're doing ads for Facebook is to do a lead generation form. All right, that's the objective. You don't even have to drive them to a website. There's actually a lead capture form you can do right on Facebook. So let's go to that next slide, show them a couple examples and give them a resource. So if you, like I said, we don't go too detailed in how to get started on that. That would be a whole class in itself. And we do have a Facebook ad class, watch for that. But in the meantime, if you want to educate yourself, either watch for our other trainings or check out facebook.com/business. And they have a whole educational website videos to help get you started on how to create ads, really detailed and specific to target sellers in your area. Like I said, it is a low cost, great opportunity when done correctly. Okay,
Yeah.
So make sure you check that out.
They're called Facebook Blueprint, guys. Again, really, really great resource for all of this. Now, with everything that we're doing here, whether we're capturing leads organically through SEO and our social media market, we're investing in paid leads. What's really, really important is that you are really, intentful on, or I should say proactive about having a strong nurturing system. How are you staying in front of managing leads that are coming in, past clients? And a key component to that is your email marketing. Your email database oftentimes is sometimes even larger than your social media following. Now, I, of course, recommend that you bridge that gap, right? Invite everyone in your email database to follow you on social media where you can more consistently stay in front of them. But your email marketing is a really, really important place to make sure that you are building that top of mind and that connection as well. Whether you're doing custom campaigns for just sold properties, super valuable market reports, once again, with the call to action to be able to connect with you directly into your website. Referral campaigns, that's really, really huge as well. And then, of course, whatever email marketing platform you have. I know a lot of current clients who have the Elevate system, which is full tracking with everything. Make sure you have that. You have to be able to measure and assess the activity, the engagement, who's opening emails, things like that, to really, really be able to make decisions, good decisions with your business, and seeing what's really being effective and what kind of content is getting you good engagement. Really, really important. Follow-up email campaigns to seller leads. What does that look like? Here's some examples of that. You want to make sure, again, that your email database is that there's call to action where they can be connected directly to you, that they can be connected directly to your website, to be able to find out what their home is worth, be able to have aspects such as monthly newsletters, things like that. I'm sorry, Dylan, you were frozen, but were you going to say something?
Yeah, one thing I was going to say is, with this is a follow-up campaign. So this is once we've gotten the lead, they've registered for home valuation, this kind of stuff. We now need to make sure we have a follow-up system there. So what we recommend here at Elevate is you need a 7-day follow-up seller campaign, right? What we have found brings the most success once someone has raised their hand, I'm interested in knowing the value of my home or potentially selling my home. We encourage a 7-day follow-up campaign to help encourage and get that lead more confirmed. Because like I said, they only do a couple hours of research. Once they have raised their hand, it is that imperative that you do a very intensive 7-day follow-up campaign. Okay, we've found brings the best success. But Steph, why don't you talk to them about how it mirrors, really benefits them if they also connect that with some follow-up mailing campaigns as well.
Absolutely, guys. There's been so much marketing research being done, just showing the value of me actually getting something in my hand and seeing your photo, and having something that I'm actually seeing physically. Direct mailings, that when you're actually, within that first month period, you want to make sure that you have consistent mailing campaigns going out to potential sellers. Again, when you're hitting them with print and email, and when you make that phone call, studies have shown that you are going to have much more conversion with those lead campaigns when you are hitting them from both sides. So really, really important that you guys are intentional and consistent with that for the next few weeks after that listing, that lead is brought to you. I'm sorry, that lead. Really.
Yeah, you're right. Look, imagine that, Steph. I mean, they do their research on selling their home in their neighborhood. They find your blog. They see what you're doing for other listings for properties in the area. They see you in their news feed posting on their social media news feeds of all the listing activities you get. I see you in my inbox, and then all of a sudden I get a postcard. I mean, come on, I'm sold. Okay, but let's talk about that, because the reality is even if we get these leads, we finally get them on the phone, we still need to nail the listing presentation, right? We still need to, competition's tough. Agents will say, or clients will say, why am I going to trust you versus the agent down the street? Or why am I going to trust you versus my cousin who just got a real estate license? So unfortunately, you have to compete with that. So we wanted to go over a couple of ways that once you get the listing, presentation opportunity, how you nail that listing presentation. So first, you want to establish credibility. Like I said, we're going to do our research before we meet with you. So first of all, you should have a website that I'm able to find, but in that listing presentation, showcase the website, showcase your testimonials, showcase all your recent sales and talk about that, create that credibility. Then show them your marketing strategy. They want to know what your plan is to get the most value for their home and sell it as quickly as possible. What is your strategy? What makes you stand out? Show them what you've done to market your properties on social media in the past, email drip campaign and mailings, as well as print material. The reality is sellers love tangible handouts. When you come to a listing presentation and I see what you've done in the past, print material, and I get to hold that in my hand, that is a great opportunity to help create that credibility. And discuss the listing price. I know that's always the most challenging opportunity to discuss with them, right? But bring data. In fact, we encourage a CMA web generator we'll talk about here today, so you have live actionable types of data to show this is where that list price is coming from. So Steph, let's go to the next slide. We'll talk to them a little bit about bringing that print material.
Yeah, absolutely. And just real quick, guys, with that CMA too, make sure, guys, and I know the Elevate platform, for those of you who have it, does this as well, but make sure that CMA can regenerate automatically. Because if your seller doesn't look at that for the next couple weeks and they're not ready to go just yet, and then they look at it and now the actives are sold and actives are pending and pendings are sold, you want to make sure that regenerates automatically so that you don't have to spend time creating an additional CMA for that. So, okay.
Yeah, so you want to bring print material here. All right. So like we said, bring past sales, just listed postcards, open house flyers, styled listing sheet. Remember, all this kind of stuff, it's tangible. Sellers love it. It's going to help close the deal and, impress them. We have some offers with Elevate that we can do some print material. But Steph, you made a great point about the importance of having that CMA wizard, being live, active and integrated, because price changes. That this market especially, it is just so active, and price changes are happening by the week. So having that live interactive one is so important.
Yeah, and I can tell you, especially in Florida too, right? So a lot of times in Florida, agents will tell me all the time, we've got that snowbird, that didn't look at it, within a couple hours, and now things have even changed, so you want to make sure it's just so important, guys. That of course is all integrated with the Elevate system. For those of you who are current clients or those who are interested, all of that is part of the system. But guys, this is for those of you who have been to one of our education series before, you know what we call this. This is the moneymaker slide, but y'all take a picture of this, have it in your phone. And I'm telling you, this is what agents are truly needing to be able to share with sellers as they're making a decision on who to work with, and be able to tell them, part of my strategy, part of my plan to get your home sold quickest and for the most money possible, I'm going to feature your property as a featured property on my website, blog about it on my real estate blog, promote it on my Facebook business page, tweet about your property on my Twitter, post about your property on my Instagram. Oh, and by the way, I'm also going to create a video, post it to my YouTube channel, and share that across all of my social media. Guys, do you think your clients would appreciate this? Absolutely. This is what the industry demands. This is what your clients demand. And I'll tell you, Dylan and I both get calls all the time from agents saying, listen, I'm not nailing those listing presentations because this is where I'm lacking. That online presence, that online promotion, getting in front of as many people as possible is where I'm really lacking, and it's just absolutely important. So take a photo of it, have it. This is that moneymaker slide, and I'm telling you, this is what's going to separate those good agents from those great agents, and get more listings. So let's recap, guys. From everything we've been talking about today, finding sellers both organically through social media, through high SEO of your website, and that paid traffic, capturing people as they are looking to sell their home. Again, that's a small window, through making sure that we are having that strong online presence, providing consistent content to your social media, having all of that integrated into a website to give you the highest SEO possible, and then making sure that you are investing into the places online that are actually going to bring you those intent-based sellers, and then arming yourself with the proper materials, with the proper tools online to get those homes sold quickly and for the highest price possible is really what's going to change the game with you, especially now. So how many of you guys, all right, I know this has been a lot of information, but how many of you guys truly agree that online social media marketing is absolutely essential to gain new business? You guys can put your hand on that raise hand button or chat with us in the chat box. Oh, come on. I know we worked harder than that. Everybody agrees.
I'd actually probably argue, Stephanie, now more than ever, right? With social distancing and you can't do large events still, and the high activity of social media, I'd probably argue it's been more important than it's ever been.
I think you're absolutely right, guys. And I probably get, Dylan, I think you and I have been working, 12-hour days since the onset of COVID, since we've been home. Just really, we didn't know what was going to happen with the real estate industry last February, right? And what we've seen is just, it's been an incredible and busy market, guys. And it truly, your online presence is absolutely essential. We all agree, but in the same breath, we also understand there's a lot to be said about the time that's involved in doing all of this, from maintaining multiple social media platforms and investing in leads and this and that. Not all of us have the efficiency or the knowledge with all of these platforms and what content's good content and all this kind of stuff. I just had somebody today, 22 years old. He called me and said, I need your platform. I'm great at social media. I just don't have time for it. I'm actually busy. And I said, well, good for you. And so it just had to optimize all of this. So for those of you who would like to know and learn more about the Elevate platform that can literally do every single bit of this from top to bottom, A to Z, from maintaining your online presence, your website, your nurturing system, to generating intent-based traffic to your system, stick around. We're going to show you guys exactly what that looks like. And for those of you who are current clients and wanting to know more about, okay, I got the system, I'm loving it. We've gotten a lot of great feedback from you guys already. Now I want to upgrade. I need to get some leads into my system. And we're going to share with you guys our Elevate DMS and our elite products that literally take all of these core services and put them all under one umbrella, under the umbrella of your business, so you can get off of that roller coaster ride of being a vendor manager. Because a lot of agents will say, gosh, okay, I know I need to do all this. And they hire one company for their website, one company for their CRM, and one company for lease, and none of it's talking all together. So we want to trim that fat, put everything all together into one system. Let me show you exactly what that looks like. Again, this is what it looks like when you clean your house before company comes over, my friend.
Stephanie, one thing I just want to add before we get started, because I know I'm so excited for you to share all this, but I'm so excited for you to talk about even just the seller aspect. For a lot of our current clients here, a lot of you aren't familiar with our incredible all-inclusive seller program. So if you guys are serious about seller leads right now, it's never been a more valuable time to invest in sellers. And I can't wait for you to get on that. I just have to say it's been such a hot ticket item.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's really what's going to put you ahead of the rest, guys. That window, like Dylan said, is so small. You want to be the first person. But with the system itself, guys, the foundation of our system starts with your website, right? Like we said, you want to make sure you have a strong, independent IDX website. You will meet with a team of designers, and you will choose colors and logos and photos and layouts, and have a beautiful online presence, that front door. Now, this is your website. Like I said, you'll work with our design team to brand it to match your look, feel, and aesthetic. You'll have featured properties, which can be your listings, office listings. Even if you had no listings whatsoever, whatsoever. Every single property in the MLS is branded to you, okay? If I were to search for a property, I will get everything that I need right under the umbrella of your business. I can see all the photos from the MLS. I can save to favorites. I can check out that virtual tour, which we will create on your behalf, get full listing information. All of this activity, guys, is going to be logged into your CRM system that comes with the Elevate platform. Full tracking and analytics, voice over IP, document storage, everything all equipped into one, guys. We'll go into that in a little bit. We're going to showcase similar properties, sold homes in the area, school and community information, everything that you would need right there at your fingertips. But here's the thing. Here's what truly is going to make our websites different from any other site in this industry is that static website versus a dynamic website. We are going to create a dynamic web presence by embedding that blog into your website, creating that SEO through content change. Now, it's your blog. You can do whatever you want with it. You can put photos and videos and articles. Once it's on your blog, automatically we're going to share it to all of your social media platforms that we will build for you. But I'll get there in a second. But even if you did no blogging, none at all, you're too busy for it, that's not your forte, it's all good. We've got your back. We are going to keep your blog active, consistent, professional, and you don't have to do a thing. We're going to blog for you in 3 different ways. First and foremost, we're going to do lifestyle content on your behalf. We have writers that work for our company creating content for your area and for your region that is relevant to your market. So obviously my client here, she is in the Miami area. She's going to have content that's relevant to her area in South Florida. Now she can do whatever she wants with it. She can edit it, change it, delete it, whatever she wants. It is hers. It is branded to hers. All of our content is put into an algorithm, so nobody would ever get the same content as you, same day, same time, ever. So we're doing that every single week. It's going to be relevant to what you're looking for or what your area is in the area that you do business in. Share that all over your social media. Next thing we're going to do are those market reports. Like Dylan talked about, how important is this, especially utilizing your website to attract those sellers. You can pick as many featured towns as you'd like. You can have 2, you can have 15, it doesn't really matter. We will do as many as you need. We're going to make sure we provide all that information, of course, have call to action. So when I want to check out the values in the area, I can click on that and be sent directly to you from your blog. We're going to share it to all of your social media. And then, of course, we're also going to follow your MLS ID. Anytime you have a new listing, a sold listing, an open house, a price reduction, you name it, we're going to blog about it and we are going to share it to all of your social media. So this one right here, Allison, this is happens to be a just sold. I'm sorry, I told you guys, my internet been giving us issues all day long. But anytime you have a status update, automatically we're going to follow your MLS ID and we are going to blog all of that information. We're going to title it again with hyperlinks and keywords and share that directly to your social media. So again, this is a just sold. Let's say this was a new listing, right? Put onto your social media. I click on it. It's going to drive me right back to your website where there's lead capture, full listing sheet, everything that I would need. And we're going to give you as much eyes to your properties as possible. So I'll give you guys a quick glimpse. This is Allison's Facebook page. Now, again, Allison does nothing. I love to use her as an example because she truly is an example of an agent who doesn't do anything. So you can see exactly what we do on her behalf. So we'll do a branding package across all of your social media, and then we're going to keep it active. You see, we've got market reports, we've got lifestyle content, relevant business information, seller information, everything branded to her. So if I were to click on it, it's going to take me directly to her website, building her SEO where there's lead capture. Now we are going to do that on every single platform for you. Facebook business page, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. We'll create your Instagram, your Pinterest. Everything that goes to your social media or to your blog, we're going to share to every single one of those platforms. Now, kind of going back to your system, like I said, an integrated CRM is a part of your Elevate platform. Like I said, voice over IP, document storage. You're going to have your eMerge email marketing system in your back end. There's automatic text response. Now there's thousands of templates you can choose from there with that direct to consumer through email and through text messaging. So like we talked about, all of those follow-up emails as seller leads come in, that 7-day campaign, that push that you want to do, you can set all that up within your email system, your new listings, your open houses, all of your marketing needs you'll have right embedded into your system. It comes with the Elevate platform. Now, all of this that you see here is the foundation of everything that we're creating for you, right? Like I said, it's your house. We're cleaning it up before we invite people here. It's our DMS, our digital marketing solution. I know a lot of you in here already have this platform and are so happy with it, and it's really changing your business. And for those of you who don't, it is everything from top to bottom: your website, your CRM, your email marketing, your blog, your content, your MLS pushes, your Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, everything working all together and automated for you and integrated into your site. For everyone here on the webinar today, we are offering this platform at a discounted price. It is normally $2.99 a month, which, to be quite honest, to get everything that we're talking about today, to have a fully integrated system, an automated system with all of these features that we've talked about here today, that organic lead generation system, it's only $200 for you all. You could not pay a college kid $299 to do all this for you, but we're discounting it for all of you for only $200 a month. If you guys are interested in starting with that DMS platform, I encourage you, let us know. Put in that chat box here today, DMS, and Dylan or I will reach out to you today, answer any questions that you guys have, and get you guys set up on this so that by this time next week, you will all be Twitter rock stars, right? Or at least we will be for you anyway. So type DMS, lock in those prices here today, and we'll be happy to get you guys started on that. But Dylan, talk to us. For those of you who are like, listen, this is great, that's awesome, but I'm wanting leads. I want to be one of those that's really capitalizing on that seller market. Talk to us about what we're doing on top of that DMS, or what we can upgrade our current clients to at this time.
Yeah, you got it. So a lot of our customers who are already DMS customers, now I want leads. So we got some really incredible lead programs, both for buyers and sellers, where we do all of your online marketing advertising on search engines and social media, targeting buyers and sellers. So let's start with the really intensive PPC ad. So let's go ahead and show them here. We create search engine ads targeting buyers and or sellers searching for real estate in your area or searching to sell their home in the area. So we pay for hundreds of short and long-term key terms indicative of someone looking to sell their home or buy a home on Google, Yahoo, Bing, and Facebook. Mostly Google. Remember, that's that high intent, high converting lead. So we pay for you to show right at the top of those search results page. But when a consumer clicks that link, we take them to a specialized lead capture landing page. So let's show them what that lead capture landing page looks like. For seller leads, we take them to a landing page that says, what is your home worth? Specific to the area they're looking to sell in. Okay, so it's geo-targeted, matches exactly what that consumer is. So let's say I'm in a Tampa area. What's my home worth? It will take me, you can see here, to a landing page, add your address to get what your Tampa home is worth. Now, 100% of our seller leads will have street addresses. Now we have 3 other landing pages that are designed to get as much information as possible about those leads. So their phone number, we try to get their email, the condition of their home, all of that. But 100% of our leads will have street addresses, 63% will have email and phone number, and then it will end with an automated home valuation sent to that lead. And then that lead will immediately be put into our CRM system. If it has an email, we'll set them up on that 7-day email follow-up campaign, tracks their open rate. You do nothing. In fact, Stephanie, let's talk. Why don't you talk to them about, if they don't have an email, what we're actually offering for everyone here today, which is unique because it's a pilot program. Talk to them about our pilot postcard program that we're going to do for free for them.
Included. This is what's so awesome, guys. So it is definitely a value and a benefit for you guys sticking around here today. For everyone who is going to invest in seller leads here today, we are going to put you into our pilot print program, where every single street address that we are sending to you, we're also sending out print postcards on your behalf. We are going to send these out all month long for a full month after that lead comes in. They're beautiful branded postcards with your headshot and your information. And guys, this is absolutely so powerful, guys. as people are providing you that information, getting that postcard in their hand. And when you call them, I'll tell you what, the feedback I have been getting over the past 6 months has been amazing, amazing with just what the conversions are looking like. And I'll tell you, there's something to be said about capturing people at the beginning of that process, following up with that print campaign, and that is included in your price. All of it is included, okay? So we also have options for buyer leads as well. I know our webinar today is very focused on sellers, but for those of you, I know here in Florida, I've got a lot of agents really wanting to even target buyers still right now, especially here. We have buyer leads available as well. The process is very similar. We're capturing people as they're searching for real estate in your specific area. So for me, South Tampa, I'd be, if people are searching South Tampa homes for sale, real estate South Tampa, capturing them, again, putting through that similar process. We want to find out as much information as possible through those squeeze pages. Do they own? Do they rent? Are they pre-qualified? What's their price point, their occupation? We're sending that lead directly to the agent. Here's a screenshot of what one looks like. We want to get what's called supplemental lead data, as much information as possible. Like you see here, data makes the difference. We use a smart path lead system, so we can capture as much information as possible when we deliver that lead to you. So also remember, there's options for targeted Facebook ads as well. We here at Elevate focus more highly on Google leads simply because of that conversion rate. And we're going to include all of that here with your package. Now, these leads are exclusive. Now, I was just talking to an agent earlier today, and she said to me, your conversion rates are very, very similar to that of Zillow and Realtor. What is the biggest difference? Well, you have exclusivity with Google Leads. They are your leads and they are your leads only. We're actually going to purchase a lead license on your behalf so that the leads you get are yours and yours alone. Now, that being said, that's great for the agent, but it's not great for the agent who waits and the leads get sold out, so to speak. That's just the nature of the beast. So if you guys are interested in lead generation, whether it's buyers or sellers, let us know, because again, this is on top of your Elevate system. If you do not have the Elevate system yet, we're going to get you on that as well as the leads. For those of you who are on the Elevate system, we are giving you guys the opportunity to upgrade at these discounted prices. Okay. Now, our first level of lead generation, and if you guys want leads, I'm telling you, first come, first serve, type leads in that chat box. Here are the different levels of lead generation. Now, our DMS Plus, this is the DMS plus 5 to 10 buyer or seller leads. This is kind of that introductory price. A lot of our agents that are just trying to get their feet wet and start kind of trickling those leads in. For 5 to 10 leads per month on top, guaranteed, that quantity is guaranteed. That's why it's a range. Our buyer program is $2.99 a month, and our seller program is $3.99 a month. So if you're interested in DMS Plus, type it in that chat box, let us know. And then for those of you who are really, really ready to take 2021 by storm and invest in that high volume of lead generation, our elite products are all discounted 50% off your first 2 months. Now, we're giving you webinar pricing already, and then we're additionally giving you guys 50% off. So our elite buyer program is typically $900. We're discounting it at our webinar pricing for $800 and then offering it to you guys for $400 your first 2 months. Same price for the elite seller program. Seller leads, typically, they're just more expensive. That's just the nature of the beast on Google, but we're giving it to you guys for the same exact price. And we're including the pilot program where we're actually going to be doing your print campaigns as well. Typically, it's $1,000 a month. This is including all your ad spend, including the DMS, including everything. We're discounting it to $800 and $400 your first 2 months. So guys, if you are on the fence, I will tell you this. If you are on the fence between the DMS Plus and the Elite, I am telling you, go for the gusto. I can always back you down. I can't always promise that I can go up with these leads because they are exclusive. Once those lead licenses are gone in your area, we will be on a waiting list. But we're giving you guys kind of first dibs here today. So if you're interested in leads, let Dylan and I know in that chat box, type in leads, type in, hey, Steph, Dylan, call me. I'm ready to rock 2021. Just let us know. We are actually blocking off our calendar for the rest of the day today to connect with you guys one-on-one. We will give you guys a call today. We will talk to you guys, answer any questions, find the best place for you guys to decide to start, and then get that ball rolling for you. So that, like I said, by this time next week, we'll get you guys up, running. We'll clean that online presence up, make it powerful, make it consistent, and then drive that traffic directly to you. So again, leads in the chat box. Oh, Dylan, I'm sorry, this is my slide deck, so you only get to see my beautiful picture here. So if you want to throw out your information on the chat box, but this is me. But Dylan and I work together, so you can call me. You can call either one of us. Here's our information. Again, type DMS if you guys are just ready to get started with that platform, and type leads if you want to either upgrade or start with the whole kit and caboodle here today. So I know this has been a lot of information, guys. Thank you so much for joining Dylan and myself here. We hope you learned a lot. I will tell you guys, again, it is a seller's market, that is for sure. We do have buyer lead licenses available as well, but take advantage of these discounts. I'll tell you guys real quick, for those of you who are still on, I had a client of mine about 6 months ago that started doing seller leads with our program. And I was noticing, like, man, she has just been like killing it, right? Because we follow each other on social media and everything. So I called her and I said to her, I said, you know, what are you doing? What is it that you're doing? Because you're doing amazing. And she actually purchased on Amazon these little like stemless wine glasses, and put her logo on it and all that kind of stuff, and send it out to every single street address she gets. I had another guy do a similar thing. He did a pot holder. And put his information on it. And every street address he got, the postcard went out and they would send that gift. And I'm telling you what she would do, she would call them. Hey, just checking to see if, I hope you got my gift. Oh my gosh, that was so great. Yeah, let's set up an appointment. We're looking to sell, but really not looking to list until June when the kids are out of school. No problem. She'd go to the listing appointment. She'd bring that bottle of wine to give with their wine glass. And I'm telling you, she nailed it. So just my little tidbit of advice for you guys. I'll tell you what, it was just an awesome deal. But get those street addresses, get that information, guys, and nail that listing appointment. And we're here to help you with that. So Dylan, any last closing remarks before we hit the phones and get chatting with everyone?
No, thank you guys so much. You've been amazing. And we look forward to helping you guys get some sellers. Really appreciate it.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. We are so excited to work with you all. Have a great day. We're going to keep this up here for a while. If for anyone who's a current client, you want to upgrade, let us know. And we will make sure that we take good care of you guys as always. New potentials. I can't wait to meet you all and bring you into the fam. Talk to you all soon.